We're going live, baby. What's up, everybody? My name is Justin. This is Forever Self-Employed. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the biggest pressure washing jobs that we've ever landed. I got my business partner, Jacob, here with me. Jacob, how's it going, man?
What's going on?
We're going to be digging into some old footage in this video, showing you guys, taking you guys back, and basically kind of walking through the biggest jobs that we've had, things that went bad, good, and everything in between with these jobs. Do want to make you guys aware of a couple of things before we get into this. We're actually going to be running Google Ads for a select couple of people. We're looking to bring on about 3 people. For anybody who doesn't know, a large majority of the big jobs that we have come into our business come in through Google. And we've spent probably the last year and a half, 2 years really dialing in on the perfect Google ad strategy for landing monster jobs, the ones that we're going to be taking you guys through in this video. So if that's something that you're interested in, be sure to check out the link in the comment section description, and you can fill out this form right here. Now, if you don't have, enough money to really invest into Google ads, we recommend at least about $750 a month. I really wouldn't mess with that too much, just because you should really be focusing on some other means of marketing before you try to get your Google ads ran. I do want to let you guys know also that QuoteIQ released a virtual call team, the first virtual call team of its kind. And if you guys want to give it a go, you can click the second link in the comment section description and dial into this number, 912-689-3268, and you can see how it works. We got a founders deal right now, which is unlimited minutes for the first people to jump into it. We're actually going to be ending that here pretty soon. So if you're interested in it, definitely check it out. Definitely jump in on the founders deal. But with all that out of the way, Jacob, we can kind of jump into the topic of today's video, and that is the biggest pressure washing jobs that we landed. So cool thing is me and Jacob really merged businesses kind of whenever they were getting going. I actually found Kale. He was doing some vent cleaning. I started running ads for Kale doing vent cleaning. We're picking up a bunch of jobs doing that. And then, I was kind of talking to Kale a little bit about pressure washing. He's like, man, I should start a pressure washing business. So him and Jacob teamed up, and I came in as the marketing piece. And, ever since then, it's really taken off. Wouldn't you say so, Jacob?
Yeah, I'd say so. I didn't even think that this was going to cover all my bills before we started this. So now we just moved into a new office and it's going good.
Absolutely, absolutely. So everything's been really great. Just kind of give you guys a heads up on some of these jobs. Some of them are pretty hefty. I'm actually going to start with the most hefty, and then we're going to work our way down. So the biggest job that we've ever landed was a hospital cleaning, and it's actually a funny story how that one came in. So I'm going to share a screen here. We got footage on the screen of this hospital cleaning. We had 4 days to do a hospital cleaning that ended up being about $40,000. So for anybody who hasn't watched this video, essentially this hospital had like a bunch of people coming in that were they were either investors in it or they were like really high up level management, and they wanted it to look good. And of course, whoever was responsible for putting this meeting on waited till the last minute to make sure that the building was actually cleaned before all these people were coming in. So last minute, they were calling everybody that they could to see who they could get out here to clean this building. And we were one of the people that they called. I actually remember the conversation that I had with Jacob and Kale when this call came through. I was like, dude, there's no way that we can do this. Jacob, you remember that?
Yeah, I didn't even go look at it. My aunt was not doing too good and she actually passed away. And I left straight from there and went to this job. But while I was visiting with her before she passed, uh, I got on a call with you and Kale and Buddy, our helper at the time, had went and looked at it, and they were like, "It ain't gonna happen. We can't do it." And I was like, "Don't turn down that job." I said, "I think we can get it done," and so yeah, we did it.
I
And
give Jacob
we,
all the credit. I'll never doubt Jacob again because this building was like huge. We were like, man, we're gonna have to bring in like a man lift for this. But then we had issues with like the grass here and bringing it in and getting it rented, and just there was a bunch of complications that went into actually figuring out how we were gonna do this. And so what we had to do was kind of structure the quote and the bid and say, hey, look, you guys only have 4 days. We're up for the challenge, but we're just gonna get as much done as possible. And then we just got their priority list and just started working down, the priority list with regards to what was the most important for them. So, Jacob, do you want to talk
yeah,
a little bit about what it was like working day and night to get this thing, completed?
that was the longest that was probably the longest I've ever worked without stopping. We worked just under 36 hours to get it done. And there was actually like 4 or 5 other companies that they had called before us um, that had turned it down. And some of those companies were much bigger companies than us. And they didn't want to agree to it because they didn't want to, they didn't want to have to stay up for almost 36 hours and work, I guess, which we
Right.
didn't either. But it wasn't a job that we were willing to turn down and pass the money up on because we knew we had the equipment to do it. So we knew we'd get it done. Or
Maybe
I
that's
knew
a
we'd get it done.
That's kind of a good thing that I want to touch on, Jacob, is exactly what equipment we had in order to get this job done. So maybe let's kind of run through that a little bit. Obviously, you guys are seeing our buddy here. Where's he at? We called him in from. He had a local wash company, Total Exterior Solutions, and we called him in to actually
Yeah.
come and help out on this job. But let's talk through the equipment, Jacob, because like all this was done with like a trailer and like a skid, right? And obviously his trailer as well.
Yeah, so he was running a 5.5 gallon a minute pressure washer and a 5.5 gallon a minute soft wash pump. It was a Southeast soft wash trailer that him and our other buddy that they had started whenever they started the business, they had bought that trailer. So we had that. We had just upgraded to our 8 gallon a minute machine, and then we had our 5 gallon a minute on the skid. So we had the skid with the soft wash system. We didn't have the AR-45 yet. We were still running a 7 gallon a minute 12 volt on the skid, and we didn't have any chemical set up yet on the trailer. It was just pressure washing trailer at the time. So that was
So
the 3 rigs that we ran.
it really wasn't even the perfect setup to get this done. Like ideally, we would have had something better. Like the setup that that we're running now is obviously better than
Right.
what it was when we did this. The biggest thing though is, first of all, putting yourself in a position to take on a job like this, which we did by ranking on Google, answering the phone when it rang, and going out there and quoting it. The second thing is just having the courage in order to take it on. You know what I mean? Because there was a lot of companies that either wouldn't move around anything in their schedule, and it wasn't like we didn't have anything else booked. We moved some stuff around and we made it happen. So you also risk like what your company looks like if you can't complete this job, which I don't think that we were really necessarily worried about. We just set expectations. We went out there, did everything that we could, and obviously we got the job done. It wasn't all completed within those 4 days, right, Jacob? You want to talk a little bit about that, like how we had to come back and kind of knock out a few things afterwards?
Well, the only reason we got the call to come back was because of the windows. They were expecting us to actually squeegee and actually do like a detail on the windows,
Right.
but that wasn't included in the bid. So we told them that, and they were good with it. So we were just there to do the actual building, soft wash and pressure wash the building, and then I think it was either just over or just under 100,000 square feet of concrete. We did with three pressure washers running 20-inch surface cleaners. So it
Yeah,
was a
which is
lot of
pretty
work. A lot of
pretty
work. We were
crazy that
wore out.
you could clean 100,000 square feet of concrete with 20 inch service cleaners. Is pretty you have to be kind of dumb to do something like that,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. And this was actually a good pickup. We actually we're about to quote this again. They called us back. They want it done again. I think it's some spot cleaning. I don't think it's the whole building and all the concrete again. But this one job pretty much landed us a contract with um, the company that subs under this hospital. So we've done a bunch of work for that actual company. They have a bunch of different locations and a bunch of different clinics and stuff. So we do a lot of parking lot striping for them and a lot of washing for them.
Right.
So this job kind of put us on the map for them to kind of be their go-to company.
And that's the beautiful thing with some of this commercial work is like all you got to do is know the right people, and then you're able to leverage those relationships to do more work. So like Jacob, I mean, we've done so much work for the property management company that manages all this. Since then, you want to speak a little bit to some of that work?
Yeah, I mean we got some locations of theirs that we do once every 3 months. Some of them we do once every 6 months. And then this one, we did this one. I think this was 2 years ago. We picked this up, year and a half, 2 years ago.
Right.
And we're getting ready to send them another estimate for this as well. We got to set up a meeting and go meet out there and see what all they need done, and hopefully we'll be doing it again
Absolutely. So
with
once
a
again,
little more time,
wait, say it again, Jacob.
with a little more time in front of us to where we don't have to work like we did that time. But
Right. Right. Yeah, this is pretty
hopefully we
crazy.
got a
But
little more
hey, look,
time to do it.
made it happen though, and that's the biggest thing. So just like we said, biggest thing is we put ourselves in front of the person who wanted to get the job done, which you guys can do using Google Ads, and then obviously we answered the call when it came through. So the biggest thing is you got to willing to be you got to be willing to you got to be willing to take the risk as well. So like like I said, it might have reflected bad on our company if we wouldn't have gotten a whole bunch of work done, but still got everything done, and Obviously, a little bit of a discrepancy between the window cleaning there, but we're not a
Yeah, we
window
we
cleaning
made
shop.
sure to mention to them like we're gonna do what we can. You know, we're not gonna rush through it and to where it looks good or to where it looks bad to make a bad reputation for ourselves through them. We let them know up front, like if we're not able to get it done, we'll get the main areas done. That way, whoever's coming in, yells upper management or whatever, whoever it is that's coming in, it'll look good. And then if we got to come back after and do some spot cleaning, we can.
Right.
So
Kevin says, "Is that what Google Ads costs? Roughly 750?" No, that's not. Like Google Ads, you can run as much money as you want into Google Ads. The thing is like depending upon your budget. Like if you were to run $300 a month into Google Ads, you'd be spending like $10 a day. If you want to actually rank and compete and get up there with some of the keywords, you're gonna need to be spending more money than that. You want to weigh in on that a little bit, Jacob?
yeah, the good thing about Google is it's not like Facebook ads. If you've ran Facebook ads before in the past, the more money you spend, the more Facebook's going to show your ad. Google goes by a ranking system, just like Justin was saying, and it's like a half and half kind of deal. Like the more money you spend, yeah, they're going to put you first a lot more of the time, but at the same time, if you're active on Google, if you have your all your ads set up correctly, then that also plays a big part in it as well.
Absolutely. So yeah, that was the first one. That was a $40,000 hospital cleaning. The next one I want to show you guys is a Cabela's that we did. And the Cabela's was like concrete cleaning, restripe, and we actually did some washing on the building. You want to kind of break down some of that for us, Jacob?
Yeah, so this one, at first we did some striping and we did a good bit of concrete cleaning and we popped some gum up that they had on the concrete. Their main parking lot is all asphalt. So we had given them a bid whenever we first went out there and did all the washing, and they weren't ready for it yet. So um, we had done a couple of in between jobs for them, some of their sidewalks and stuff like that. We kind of started doing on a reoccurring basis, and then they brought it up to their corporate office saying that they needed the full parking lot restriped. So I went out there, took some pictures for them with the drone so they could send that up, and then we provided them estimate on the full parking lot and ended up going do it. And I think that was around 14 or 1500 lines total that we ended up striping. It was a
And for
lot,
anybody who doesn't do
lot of
parking lot
paint.
striping, that's a lot of lines.
Yeah, it's a lot of paint.
Right.
I think I told him like 45 gallons at first, and that didn't even cover half of what we had to do.
Dude, absolutely incredible. So yeah, it's a lot of parking lot striping. Anyway, the job ended up being like over 30 grand, 30 G's. Look at me. Ended up being over 30 grand, and it's just a good example of like another, if you put yourself in the right situation to get the right call from the right person. And we've actually done more work for them since, right, Jacob?
Yeah, we actually just went and did a job for them. We did they had a statue and we did one of their docks, like they got a little goldfish pond in the front. So we
Right.
went and cleaned the wood up around that. But I mean, we've came off of our prices some for them, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because we know that we're their go-to company as far as parking lot striping and washing now. Because we've been out there, we've probably done, I guess, a total of 4 or 5 different odd and end jobs for them. So we kind of have that in the bag as their go-to company. So coming off of the price a little bit actually helped instead of not budging on the price, especially on these commercial jobs,
Right.
because you never know what they're going to need done and when they're going to need it done.
Well, that's another thing. You want to establish a relationship. I always like to say, like, even when we're talking to companies for just working with companies in general, we'd rather establish a long-term relationship where, it's mutually beneficial than for us to get like a big score off of somebody and then never service them again, right? Because obviously we're going to make a lot more money servicing Cabela's for a long period of time rather than getting that one big score and then being done with it. So we try to establish that good relationship and then leverage that relationship over time. Right, Jacob?
Right. Yeah. We'd rather make money long term and build a long term relationship than not budge on prices in the beginning and not make anything from them.
And I would say that's one of the reasons why we've been as successful as we have is just like our ability to not only like connect with the person that, we're walking the property with, but then to build that relationship with them. And so, we've gotten this initial job from Cabela's and we've done plenty of work for them since then. So it just kind of shows like, get your foot in the door, get in front of these people, make a good impression, and then leverage that into more work. Because obviously, like, it's cool for us to come on here and say, hey, we landed this huge job, but it's even cooler for us to come on here and say, hey, we reserviced this customer year over year, and they've actually given us more locations since the first servicing. So if you guys don't have a way to get in front of these customers, I'm telling you, these customers are on Google. Okay, these big companies are searching on Google for pressure washing near me. They're picking the companies with that rank the highest. They're picking the companies with the most reviews, and they're giving those people a call. So if you want help ranking, be sure to check out the first link in the comment section description so that way we can get you there. But it's probably the most important piece. Wouldn't you say so, Jacob?
Yeah. So the thing about Google is most of these companies, they got corporate coming in, they got managers coming in, they got to make it look good for them coming in. So the first thing they're doing is they're going on Google and they're searching exactly like he just said, pressure washing near me or parking lot striping near me. Somebody that can come in and do the job for them, either in under 36 hours, or you may have a couple of weeks, because normally becoming a vendor for these companies takes a little while, sending in your insurance and all those different things like that. So hopefully they tell you a good bit ahead of time before they need it done. That way you don't have to work 36 hours straight. But at the same time, if you do have to do that, it is worth it. But they are going on Google. They're not just scrolling through Facebook and being interrupted by your ad. They're actively searching for somebody.
Maybe that's one of the things we can cover too, Jacob, is like, obviously it's cool that we can come on here and tell you guys, we landed all this big money in jobs and stuff, but like the downside of doing some of these jobs. And one of the downsides is how long it takes to get paid, like, and the insurance and the paperwork up front. Right, Jacob? But the good thing is once you're in the system, it's like they don't want to find another service provider for pressure washing, because then you got to go through that whole thing again. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And that's where a big thing for us getting into parking lot striping came in, because as far as like cleaning or parking lot striping, we're all in one company. So you can call us, we can clean it, and then we can come back behind ourselves and restripe it. So they don't have to get two different vendors set up. They can get us set up one time. And now, whenever they request an estimate for something to be done, if they get the estimate accepted, it's usually about, I'd say, 3 to 4 days, and we're either doing the work or we have it on the schedule.
Right. I'll let you guys in on a little secret too. Like, probably, what was it? Probably about a year ago, maybe a little bit over a year ago. We had a company that was referring us a bunch of work, and it was a parking lot striping company, and they didn't do pressure washing. They just wanted to refer out all their pressure washing work. And I remember Jacob telling me about like all the stuff that this dude was calling in to refer. And I was like, bro, I cannot believe how many big jobs he was getting. He was getting like all these major restaurant chains, and we were like, we have to figure out how he's doing this. And the biggest thing is he was just running Google ads to get it, right, Jacob?
Yeah. So whenever I started getting into actually messing with Google ads, because we didn't mess with Google ads like our whole first year in business, we just ran off of Facebook ads and stuff like that. But after I started getting into Google, and then we started getting calls from him, and he started requesting estimates from us on jobs he was doing, I would go on Google and I'd type in like parking lot striping near me. And he had like the top of the page, he had the map pack. He was at the top of the map pack. I mean, he had like the first slot for 3 different types of ads on Google. So,
Right.
and now we're getting those calls for the most part. I mean,
Because that's what we did. We went and we said, you know what, this dude's doing something that we're not doing. We need to learn what it is, and we learned the game. And that's why we're going to be running ads for a handful of people. If you're somebody who's interested in getting your ads run by us, definitely fill out all the stuff below, and we'll be giving you a call and helping you out with some of that. But the biggest thing is we knew that there was a gap in what we knew, and the only way to fill it was to actually learn it. And so the biggest thing is like we could have handed that over to another company to do for us, but we were more, I guess, cognizant of our ad spend than other companies. I think with a lot of these big companies that run ads, you're just kind of like a number in the wheel. But for us, we wanted to make sure we made every single dollar count. And so, for anybody that we bring on, we're going to take that same approach with, right, Jacob?
right. And yeah, you can't approach Google ads if you're on like $100 a month budget for ad spend, because it does take a good bit of money. I say a good bit of money. 750 to 1,000 is about what we spend a month, and we're getting phone calls or form fill outs every single day. Um, like I just scheduled like a $1,200 full package job earlier that came in from Google on a form fill out. So that pretty much covered our ad spend for the month in just that one job.
Right.
But
And I was okay, Jacob.
I know I was just gonna say if you're balling on like a $100 a month budget, which if you're just starting out or if you've been slow, you may be because I know at one point we didn't even have $100 to spend on ads.
Right.
But um, once you land a decent job, put half of that job, if possible, if you can, towards Google Ads and give it some time to work and actually get your ads going and see what happens
The
because
biggest thing
it
too
does
is
take some
just
time.
the biggest thing is betting on yourself early. Like just what we did with that hospital cleaning, we bet on ourselves early, right? And so when it came to doing the Google ads, like Jacob, what we spent the first month, I think it was like over $1,800. Like we weren't even trying to spend that, but like we didn't know what we were doing, so we were making all kind of mistakes,
No,
right?
it was more than that. It was like I think we spent almost 2,500 the first month.
Right, which is easy
Um,
to do whenever you're trying to figure things out and you're trying to test things and you're trying to see what works. The beautiful thing is
right.
we've been there, we've done that, we tested it, and now we know exactly what works. And so
Yeah,
now now we're able to be more efficient with that ad spend as opposed to not in that early stages. The other beautiful thing that I like about what we're going to be offering versus what maybe another agency is going to be offering is we know pressure washing. We know all of the search keywords. We know what people are looking for, and we know those keywords that are under I guess underserviced, if you will. Like there's a lot of search volume, but there's not as much companies trying to rank for it. So that's one of the benefits that we bring to the table. But I did want to show you guys this Cabela's cleaning. This was $30,000, and this is probably our second biggest job. But let's go ahead and move into the next one. This next one is a TPO roof cleaning. And I remember, I think it was a Google form that came in on this one that I sent to you, Jacob. It was like, so and so is requesting. Do you remember how many square feet this one was? I just remember seeing it, and it was like a
100.
monster.
I think it was right under 108,000 square feet
Yeah,
of
I remember it
TPO
being
roof.
like it came in, it was like 100,000 square feet of TPO roof, and I was like, "There's no way." And so I sent it over to you, Jacob, and then of course, there is a way. We landed it, and we ended up doing it, right?
Yeah, yeah, and I think they just wanted some pictures of the TPO roof at first because I know they had wanted the sidewalks done. So I put the drone up, took some pictures for them, and I showed them some other TPO roofs that we had done, and that's how we landed this one.
Right. And here's another, example of getting in front of somebody who, obviously whoever owns this building, they own other things, right? Because, you obviously need some money to have 100,000 square foot building. So I think we've done more work for this guy as well, and it just goes to the fact that if you get in front of them, if you answer the phone, if you do a good job, and if you establish a good relationship, you're going to have money coming in from them for a long time. So it's one of the beautiful things about doing these big jobs, right, Jacob?
Right. Yeah, we actually did another. We did three um, like operator shacks inside one of the plants. We did a TPO roof, and that was one of the ones that came from Google also. And I think that was around a $15,000 job.
Jacob,
But
what do you think is like, I don't know, like, from the first time that we did a TPO roof, what do you think like our biggest takeaway was from it?
um, what you mean? Biggest
So, like, our
takeaway?
biggest learning experience, like, I don't think we thought this was gonna need as much chemical as it did, but if you guys will see the
Oh
difference
yeah,
between if you guys will see the difference between, like, watch, over here and here, like, literally, I think this has all been treated, but we treated this so many times that it, like, kept eating away at it, like, it needed a lot of chemical, right, Jacob?
yeah. Do you have the drone time lapse I did right
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
Go back, go back forward. A little. Yeah, you can see it pretty good right there. So all the stuff on the right side has been treated already, and then you can see where they're treating right now, and you
And
can
all
kind of
this
see
has
it.
already been cleaned. The whole roof was like this, right?
Yeah, so the stuff on the outsides, the more white portions had already been surface cleaned, but where all the streaks and stuff were, that was where we had already sprayed. But it does take a good bit of chemical, especially whenever they're that dirty.
And you could see it right here, like, you could see how clean all this is and how dirty all this is. So, anyway, it just, one of those things about TPO roof cleaning that, in the beginning, I don't think we've kinda underestimated a little bit, but it's all
Yeah,
part of the
we
job.
we
It's okay.
we dial the pressure back and stuff on TPO roofs, um, just so you're not putting holes
Blasting
or
it.
leaving
Right.
marks in the actual roof. So whenever you dial the pressure back, cleaning that stuff without chemical is like trying to clean dirty concrete without chemical.
Right. Right. So anyway, valuable lesson on this TPO roof. We actually did didn't we do the building on this one too, Jacob?
Yeah, we did the building, the roof, and the sidewalks.
And the sidewalks, yeah. So this one was $24,000 job. So just like another one. So between the three that I've shown you guys so far, I think it was, let's see, 40, 30, 70, 90, almost 100 grand in work and three jobs. And that's what happens when you leverage your influence on Google. You get the call and you answer, you do a good job. And so, it's just a beautiful thing. You can actually get these types of jobs. The other thing is, Jacob, at what point do you say, like, I'm ready to take on these big jobs? Like, I don't know if you're ever ready. I feel like you have a big job that pushes you and pushes, everything that you have as far as equipment and capabilities, and you just learn and get better from there. Wouldn't you say so?
Yeah, I think it's just the amount of drive you have, because there was like on the hospital job, there was way bigger companies than us. It's kind of how they put it. Whenever us three came out there and did that whole hospital facility, they said that there was people that had 5 and 6 employees that were turning it down because they didn't think that they were going to be able to get it done in time. But we knew it was going to be rough. We knew it wasn't going to be easy, but we were going to do our best to get it done in time and make it look good, because we knew that they possibly had a lot of future work for us.
And they did, and they still do. And one of those was
Yeah.
actually, I don't have the footage up because I haven't made a video with it yet, but it was the $11,000 brick cleaning at one of these.
Oh yeah.
It was at a clinic, right, Jacob?
Yeah, it was at one of their clinics, and I think it was almost a half mile of brick wall, and it ranged anywhere from like 2 feet tall to 5 feet tall.
It's crazy,
So we
bro.
pretty much had to wand the whole thing.
Crazy. We'll have a video coming out with that here soon. Okay, so this was a TPO roof. I have one more for you guys that I want to play, and that's this one, just because this is like one of the craziest ones that we've ever done, and that was this gravel parking lot. I remember when this one came in too. This was like I forgot how many lines they said. I just remember it coming in, and I sent it over to Jacob immediately because I knew it was a plant. And yeah, man, do you want to talk a little bit about this one, Jacob? Okay, wait, I want to say one other thing. I sent it over to Jacob. He's like, cool, I'm going to go check it out. And then I just remember you calling me, Jacob, like, there's no way we could do this job because it was all gravel and we just knew the paint wasn't going to stick. But do you want to tell it or you want me to finish telling it?
It don't matter.
I'm gonna
I mean,
finish
either
telling.
way.
Okay, so Jake was like, "Dude, there's no way we can do this job," and I'm like, "All right, bro. Like, it's all good. Let's tell the dude we can't do it, whatever." And then I think a couple of days went by. Like, we got busy. I think we forgot to get back with the guy. And then the guy actually called Jacob, and then Jacob was like, "Hey, man, I don't think we're gonna be able to do it." And he's like, "I don't care about what you think you can do. You just need to come out here and give me a quote for this parking lot." And so that's what we did. We said, 10 grand on it, and they pulled the trigger.
Yeah,
So
so our striping machine, you can only run latex paint through it. You can't run an oil-based paint. And from the research we'd been doing and a few phone calls we made, everybody was saying run an oil-based paint. So that's why I called the guy and I said, look, I said, we don't have the machine to be able to run oil-based paint. I said, we're gonna have to run latex paint. And we're being told that that's not going to be good to put down there. I don't think any paint would be good to put on gravel or dirt, because as soon as it rains, it's all going to wash away anyway. But that's just what we were being told. So um, whenever I had called the guy after I sent him the estimate and I told him, look, I don't think we're going to be able to do it because of the paint issue. He said, I don't care. He said, do it in latex. He said, we just need it done. It was for a turnaround that they had coming up and they needed employee parking for all their contractors. So like, all right.
and that thing stayed on there for about 5 minutes after it was sprayed. There's no way that stayed on longer than, like, maybe a day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, all those lawns that you're seeing on the video where it's like just throwing dust up, those barely even laid down. So and what was laid down, as soon as the wind blew, it blew all the paint away.
Yeah. So anyway, hey, look, it's one of those scenarios where, we told him we couldn't do it. He said, I don't care what you can or can't do, because I guess they needed it done in a hurry. My guess is it was going to be like a check or something, some type of safety check or
Yeah.
something, to where if they didn't have it done, that they were going to be in big trouble, and they were able to get it done, right, Jacob? So,
Yeah, it
so
was
we were able to
basically
do that.
just to cover them, because they were going to have so many cars parking there. It was like 803 lawns total that we
Right.
did. and they were going to have so many cars parking there that if anybody would have gotten a wreck or backed into somebody, then the plant would have been held liable because they don't have any markings. So it was basically just for OSHA to give the okay that people can, that many people are able to park there, I guess.
Yeah. So pretty crazy stuff. So this one was 10K, and we went through all the other ones. That's all the video footage I have for you guys. Damn, I didn't know that I left this comment up the whole time. That's all the video footage I have for you guys. But 40K, 32, 24, and then the 10K. And then, of course, we talked about it was $11,000 on the hospital brick cleaning as well. I'm going to look at some of the chat here because I haven't addressed any of the chat. But a couple ones that we haven't done, that we haven't showed you guys yet. We have a horse arena. That was like $11,000. That was another roof, as well as there's just been a lot of them that kind of fall around that 10 grand. The biggest thing is just, like I said, getting in front of these people on Google and then, being able to quote them. Let's see.
I think I got a before and after of the horse barn. If you want to do like I don't know if you want to screen share.
How much is a good starting budget for Facebook ads? Dude, Facebook ads has gotten so much more competitive than whenever I first started running them. Like when I first started running them, I could spend like $30 and land jobs. Like it was absolutely crazy. Now, like I've spent like $300 in a weekend, and we actually landed a you remember that mechanic dealership that we landed? Not mechanic dealership. You remember the mechanic shop that we landed?
Oh yeah.
I told you, Jacob, that this guy told Jacob, he said, I got about 7 more of these I'm gonna have you guys do. And just to get a deal, and we never did them.
Yeah, so we actually came down on the price because he told us that I think the price was originally like 1,200 or something, and that was
Right.
for wash and stripe, and it wasn't a very big parking lot, but we ended up coming down to like 900, and he was like, "Yeah, I got like 7 or 8 more if y'all want to do those too," and we're like, "Yeah, just let us know, like we're ready to go whenever you are." And I ended up calling him a couple weeks later, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna let you know whenever we're ready," and never heard back from him.
Yeah. Hey, that's how it goes. You know what I'm saying? So we know that's part of the deal. The thing is, the bad thing about Facebook is it's not intent based, right? So when you're landing in front of people, they don't necessarily have the intent to purchase. You're just kind of like, hey, I offer this service if you're interested in it. And if it's something they might be interested in, then they reach out. So there's a bunch of different things we do to take advantage of that, or try to, get people to take action within a time frame. However, Google has just been better for us, at least up until this point, because you have big companies and big businesses, and everyone's Googling, you know what I mean? So if all we got to do is rank number 1 to get the call, then that's what we're going to do. And that's what we've been doing. And that's how we landed all these big jobs. So if you guys are interested in that, first link in the comment section description, check out the Google ads. Like I said, we're only taking on a handful of people, but we're looking for people that actually have a good budget to run behind their ads. So if you don't have much money, then just keep saving up. I don't know. But the biggest thing, you got to bet on yourself early, right, Jacob? Like if you don't, then this is the closest. This is the biggest analogy I could draw. How are you going to land a $10,000 job on $100 ad spend? Like you only want to give 100 to get 10K out, and that's just not how things work. Wouldn't you say so, Jacob?
Yeah, I mean, we've done it before. Like we've landed big jobs off of small amounts of
But I
ad
just
spend,
mean, like, it
but it's
doesn't
very
happen every day though, right, Jacob? Like, because
right.
like,
No.
for example, with that gravel parking lot, I think I checked the ad spend on that, and that was like, I think it was like 10 or $15. It was just because it was the right time. We got placed in front of him. He gave us a call. But the thing is, that doesn't happen all the time because these keywords are competitive. There's other businesses in your area that are spending the same money for the same keywords and are trying to rank for them. So, go ahead, Jacob.
Yeah, and trying to figure out, which keywords are cheaper because, like searches like pressure washing near me. Every pressure washing company that's on Google is running that exact keyword. I can almost guarantee you because it's an easy keyword to run. And on that exact keyword, we've had clicks where they don't even call us or fill out a form. They click on our ad and it costs us $120 right there, just them clicking on our ad. So figuring out a way, which we figured out, how to go around that and come up with longer keywords that'll pull up our ads under that type of search whenever somebody searches it. So that's where we're able to keep our ad spend a lot lower versus somebody that is running that exact keyword. Somebody clicks on and they're spending $100 plus on that one click and not even getting a phone call.
Dude, because we've done it. Like we've tested it, and early on, it was like we were getting a lot of clicks, and those weren't really converting as well. And we figured that out. We ran into like a bunch of roadblocks, but we just kept going and figuring it out. And, that's the best way to go, is just kind of keep trying.
Yeah,
So,
I would say to further answer your question, there's really not there's a way that you can go real in depth with Facebook ads, but at the end of the day, no matter what you do to your ad, all you're doing is interruption marketing. So
right.
somebody scrolling through their feed on Facebook, it's just like whenever somebody talks about a certain thing in your house, and then all of a sudden, Facebook starts popping up with ads. That's all it is. So somebody mentions that they want to get their house cleaned or pressure washing, then your ad's going to show for them, and they might have not been serious about it or as serious about it to where they're going to actually call you, but your ad's going to show and they're going to say, "Oh, I might need to get that done. Let me just get a price." Versus Google is somebody that's saying, "Okay, I'm going to need to get this done like now, or while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to call somebody and see when they can come do it." So it's more, um, you have more of a chance of actually landing the jobs versus somebody that's just shopping.
Absolutely, absolutely. North Jersey Kevin says, "So what are you guys offering slash selling to us?" We're going to be building out ads, just like the ones that we run, just like the ones that land us big jobs. We're picking like a couple handful of people. We're going to be running ads for you. Obviously, there's going to be a monthly fee, and then you're going to have the ad budget. But essentially, we want to take all the principles of everything that's made us successful with regards to landing big jobs, and we want to help you guys out as well, if that's something that you guys are interested in. If you're at this, the stage in your business where you're like, hey, I want to amp it up. The other thing to keep in mind is, guys, we're not just landing monster jobs. Like we also land house washes, roof washes, driveway cleanings. Jacob just said he landed a full package today. So happens all the time. The good thing for your business is when you just get that huge influx of commercial work, because you can do a good amount of commercial work and make a lot of money in a short period of time, versus you gotta you're gonna make around the same for house wash, roof wash, and driveway cleaning. You're gonna max out. So anyway,
Right.
Jacob, you want to talk a little bit about the blend there of how we've kind of blended commercial and residential to kind of like stabilize the business, if you will?
So we look at residential as residential pays our bills. Like we do enough residential work that it pays, pays for the work truck's insurance, pays our personal bills, for our mortgages and electricity bills and different things like that, and for our personal trucks. And then all of our commercial stuff, we put it back into the business to grow the business. Like I said earlier, we just opened up an office, um, and starting to kind of move in to a different direction, but still the same direction with the washing and striping and stuff. Um, so we're able to take all that commercial stuff that for the most part, comes through. I would say probably 95% of the commercial work that we do now comes from Google. And so we're real busy on the commercial side just because we have that top ranking spot on the map pack, and at the top of the sponsored page as well. So being that first company that pops up, somebody's not going to want to scroll down very far to see, what company they want to go with. They're going to select most likely one of them top three companies, and having the top spot in each one of them different sections of Google plays a huge part in how much work you're going to get.
Now, that's not to say that we don't get small jobs too, because dude, we still get back patio. Hey, can you come wash my back patio? And that's fun and dandy.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is, when we talk about all these different types of marketing, is putting yourself in a position where you get to be the decider on, do I want to do this job? Where am I going to allocate my time at? You know what I mean? So that way, when that back patio cleaning comes in, we could say, no, we're not going to do that because we have this commercial job or that commercial job or this full package. So it just gives you the option to choose. And when you're able to choose, you can then raise your prices. So that's why our minimum price is going up. In the beginning, it was probably around 175. We could do a job, but now it's like nothing under 250, just because like that's what the time's worth. That's how much it takes to run the truck out there and to get everything set up and to get everything washed. So wouldn't you say, Jacob, that's a couple of the benefits of having the good lead flow?
Yeah, I don't even think we had a minimum whenever we first started. I mean,
Yeah,
we went and did hundred
whatever you
dollar
want.
driveways, right? $100 driveways that were 45 minutes from us.
Right,
But at the same time, we were still learning, and we're still learning actually right now. You're probably going to be learning forever if you're in this industry.
right.
Um, but we were still learning kind of the ins and outs of things and figuring things out and stuff like that. So we didn't want to turn down any work just because we want to build a reputation. We don't know who this guy is that we're going to do this driveway for. he might be testing us to do his driveway, see what kind of a job we do, and he got a business that's got a 110,000 square foot TPO roof that he wants to go do. You never know who you're going to do the work for, but now we're in a position where we are picking up a bunch of work. So I'm probably not going to go clean somebody's driveway for $100 that's 45 minutes away. There is a minimum, and if they really want us to come do it, then we'll go do it, or we can sub it out to some of these other companies that are either just getting started or something like that that may not have that ad budget yet,
And just
which
to kind
isn't
of,
a bad thing.
it
If you're
just
just starting out, if you don't have the ad budget, then I mean, keep pushing, you'll get there.
keep passing out flyers and yard signs and stuff like that. And there's nothing wrong with
Right.
that. Like we've all been there. That's where we all started at. But just to give you guys an example, we just pushed on another job to another guy that does some work for us close by. But it was a gutter cleaning, and it was a gutter cleaning for like a pretty massive house. And I think the gutter cleaning was like $475 or something, and we couldn't do it. And it's like, imagine turning down a $475 gutter cleaning because you have other work lined up that you can't do it for. Jacob, you want to tell them a little bit about? I mean, obviously we're still doing this one, but why we couldn't do the gutter cleaning?
So, well, it rained, so we had to push it back to next week. So we probably
Right,
could have
but
went and done the
it
gutter
was for the
cleaning.
striping job, though, right?
But yeah, so we got a striping job that we're that's on the schedule for week after next at one of our local refineries, and then we have a FedEx warehouse facility that we were supposed to start Monday, but it's got pushed back to next Monday. And
So
between both of those, it's around 50 grand.
there you go. And so when you have the lead flow, you can afford to, pass up on the $475 gutter cleaning, which
Yeah.
is awesome because let me tell you, in the beginning, we were not passing up on any gutter cleanings or passing up on anything. There was like a span there where it was like, dude, we got to figure something out because we need to get some more lead flow going in. And so we figured it out, and now we got all the lead flow. So it's a beautiful thing. Jacob, anything else we want to say with regards to, some of these big jobs that we've landed and or anything else? You know what I mean?
I mean, I guess the biggest thing is getting to where you do have that budget to where you can um, start running those Google ads, and you can run Google ads with a small budget. You don't have to have that $750 to $1,000 budget, but um, that's not a really a good balance, I guess. You might show up at the top of Google once in a while, but it's not going to be every time. If you would just double that $300 or triple that $300 and spend $900 instead, because if you're spending $900 a month on ads, then that's not very much. You can do 2 of those gutter jobs and pay for your ad cost in a month.
The thing
So
about ads too is just the fact that it's the best way to scale, right? So there's no better way. Like we got somebody here that says he passed out 750 flyers. Okay, like you can't pass out flyers 24/7, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But you can run Google ads for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And the only thing that I need to do to get more leads in is just up the budget, up the amount of time that is in front of people. So that's the beautiful thing about ads. It makes it a lot easier to scale.
right, and even if you don't have that $1,000 a month budget, just getting on Google yourself and building out your Google My Business page and getting a feel for how to run Google Ads, which we teach a lot of in our local Domination 2 course, but which is broken down exactly how to build out Google Ads and set up your Google My Business page and different things like that. Even getting that and learning everything and familiarizing yourself, if you don't have the budget for somebody else to run your ads for you, is a good thing to do. And that'll put you in front of people, because those few people that are scrolling through Google and that do see your company, they may click on it and say, oh, well, this guy's looks like a reputable company. Let me give him a call and kind of see what kind of work he does. So
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Jacob, I think we're gonna wrap here. We just kind of want to hop on, show you guys, what's possible, right? First and foremost, and secondly, how to get there. And so, if this is something that you want to replicate for yourself, be sure to check out first link in the comment section description. We're gonna be running ads, like I said, for a handful of people. If this is something that applies to you, and if you think you're ready for the Google ads. Also, if you guys have a ton of lead flow coming in, be sure to check out the Quote IQ call team. It's a virtual call team, answers every call in the first ring, and it shows you, what was said, gives you transcriptions, recordings, everything you need in order to answer every call that comes into your business and to get back to the right people as soon as possible. Because I know that we get a lot of calls from solicitors, Angie's Leads, Yelp, you name it. You know what I mean? So anyway, Jacob, anything else we want to say before we wrap this one up?
I think that's about it.
Every
I
guest
mean,
that comes
we
on has
covered everything.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry,
Let's
Jacob.
say again.
I was just
What'd
gonna
you
say
say?
every guest that comes on the channel has picked the word of the day. What do you want the word of the day to be?
Google Ads.
You guys made this part of the video.
No, hold on. I got something better than that.
Okay,
Hold
okay,
up. What you want the word of the day to be?
Stumps him every time. I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna say scale.
The scale.
Yeah,
Oh,
scale.
fuck,
like
dude, I'm getting
Google Ads, scale your business.
All right, scale. If you guys made this part of the video, comment down below. Scale. #YourRealOne. My name is Justin. That's first. Until next time. Hustle hard. Get that money, baby. Peace.